Poems have rules, poets break rules. Some count the beats, some just sound cool. I'll show you 6 poetry forms you should know, so go grab your quills and let's start the show. Poetry. It's not just for tortured high school students. It's one of the oldest and most creative ways we have for expressing ourselves. And today we are going to explore 6 popular types of poetry, from the strict and the structured to the weird and wild. I'll give you a bit of background, show you the rules, and read an extract from a popular example. I'll break things down visually for you, which should help you jump in and try it out for yourself. Poetry is something I'd urge all writers to get stuck into, if only a little. It'll give you an appreciation for the rhythm and cadence of language, as well as sharpen your ability to clarify your ideas into perfect lines. But before we start, let me slip into something a little bit more appropriate. Let us get to it. Sonnet. First up, the sonnet. The heavyweight champion of English poetry. Sure, it may come from an Italian tradition, but we're all English speakers here, and few poets have done it better than William Shakespeare himself. Unlike many poetic forms, this is often used as an expression of love. A romantic form, if you will. In the Shakespearean method, sonnets are written as 18 lines of iambic pentameter. That's the meter or rhythmic structure of each line. Iambic refers to one unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable. Cocoon, to form one unit, or iamb. Pentameter means 5, so iambic pentameter means 5 iambs, 5 dudungs per line. I met a traveller from an antique land. Sonnets usually follow a set rhyme scheme, and the Shakespearean one use this one right here. You guys are smart, so I'll throw a little bit more poetic lingo your way. This kind of sonnet is made up of 3 quatrains, that's sets of 4 lines with alternating rhymes, followed by a rhyming couplet, that's 2 lines that rhyme with each other. Let's hear the opening of Shakespeare's most famous sonnet and watch the rhyme scheme in action. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. In this particular passage, notice how the tone goes up on line A and down on the B lines. This doesn't happen in every sonnet, but you can see there's a broad rhythm happening here between lines, almost like a call and response, or an inhale and exhale. And over on the right here, you see we've color-coded the ends of the lines so you can see how the rhyme scheme works. And that, in a nutshell, is the sonnet. 2. Haiku. From long to short, this is the haiku. This form comes from medieval Japan, and it sticks to the 5-7-5 syllable pattern over 3 lines. Traditionally, a haiku will center on nature and depict a precise moment in time, but modern haiku will bend that rule all the time. No rhyme is needed, no particular meter. Here's one from Matsuo Basho, the undisputed master of the form. An old silent pond. A frog jumps into the pond. Splash! Silence again. So you have that focus on nature, it's stillness broken by action, then returning to silence. There's a profundity that could be read into it, about man's insignificance on the cosmic scale, or it can simply be read as an aesthetic appreciation of the joys of the natural world. Up to you guys, really. 3. Villanelle. Next up, a poetic form that's very popular in the French language, but not uncommon in English. The villanelle's defining features are its refrains, repeated lines throughout the poem. Structurally, it's 19 lines long, built from 5 tercets, that's sets of 3 lines, and a closing quatrain, a set of 4 lines. But here's the twist. The first and third line from the first stanza will repeat again and again throughout the poem, like a chorus. The rhyme scheme is rather simple. On top of our repeating lines, there's a simple A-B rhyme scheme that runs just like this. Let's look at an opening from Dylan Thomas. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at the close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Those repeated lines, which we've marked as A1 and A2, come back again and again, building in intensity. It becomes obsessive, intense, almost as though it's designed to drill into the reader's memory. 4. Free verse. Let's swing to the opposite end of the spectrum, free verse. There's no rhyme scheme, no set meter. Robert Frost famously compared free verse to playing tennis with the net down. But poets like T.S. Eliot or Walt Whitman might argue that the rules of traditional poetry could serve more as a crutch or a set of training wheels. Here's a short example from Emily Dickinson, a poet for whom the line breaks are the drama. A bird came down the walk. He did not know I saw. He bit an angle worm in halves and ate the fellow raw. And then he drank a dew from a convenient grass, and then hop sideways to the wall to let a beetle pass. So you can see on the right here that there is a sort of self-imposed rhyme scheme and a semi-consistent syllable count, and the rhythm is certainly iambic. A bird came down the walk. But one of the remarkable things about Dickinson is her use of punctuation and line breaks. See how the dashes and breaks slow you down, controlling the reader's pace and rhythm. If I were to play devil's advocate, I would say that with traditional forms like a sonnet, you can make anything sound half decent just by following the rules. But with free verse, you need to have true mastery over your language to turn your ideas into poetry. Fine, Limerick. Okay, let's lighten the mood with a limerick, a poetic form that's seen by some to be a bit of a gimmick, which is perhaps reinforced by its use in bawdy rhymes about men from Nantucket. The structure is 5 lines, a bouncy sing-song rhythm, and an AA-BBA rhyme scheme that lends itself well to the setup and punchline form of a joke. Here's one from Edward Lear, the Limerick king himself. There was an old man with a beard, who said, "It is just as I feared. 2 owls and a hen, 4 larks and a wren, have all built their nests in my beard." Rhyming beard with beard? The audacity. 6. Concrete poetry. Finally, poetry that uses the aggregate of words and mixes it with the solution of water to form some sort of verbal slurry which is then poured into a syntactical mold. Well, not quite. This is a form where the shape of the poem itself on the page is part of the meaning. It's, if you will, a blend of literary and visual arts. Now, there are examples dating back to 4th century BCE Greece, so it's not exactly new. There's no set meter or rhyme scheme, it's the visuals that will often determine the structure of the poem. Now, I'm not going to read any out because that's sort of not the point, but here's George Herbert's Easter Wings, about the fall of man and the hope of resurrection, shaped like a pair of angel wings, as if to invoke the divine, or something like that. And of course, here are a couple of 20th century examples. Forsythia by Mary Ellen Salt, and Terra, or Earth, by the Brazilian Décio Pinhatari. Is it poetry? Is it a painting? Is it both? Is it good? Whatever it is, it certainly challenges one's notions of art. So there you have it. The sonnet, the haiku, the villanelle, free verse, the limerick, and concrete poetry. 6 different ways that poets have bent language into art, whether it's strict rules, wild freedom, or literal shapes on the page. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Over on the Reedsy blog, we dive into these forms in more detail, as well as 9 others. So which one of these do you want to try on for size? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this poetic field trip, don't forget to like and subscribe for more writing tips from Reedsy. I bid you adieu.